Experience does not always equate to wisdom or good judgment. The Court of Appeals, in a sense, judges other judges. How many cases have you stood before and presented to a judge? And please state please state the depth of your actual trial experience.
Okay. And that's absolutely correct. Just being old doesn't make me wise, that's for sure. And I am old, unfortunately. I have been practicing law over 33 years. During that period of time, when I was a prosecutor in Paragould, Arkansas, I would try an average of 3 felony cases a month for 4 years, so you've got about 40 to 50 cases there. I would try at least 10 misdemeanor cases a week, and so I have no idea how many that was. I was the city prosecutor, and that means you got the DWIs and all the misdemeanors. When I was with Walmart, I supervised all the litigation across the country in both what we call liability cases and employment cases. In that 16 years, I tried myself 20 cases. I supervised and helped try over 100 cases. Since I've been out from Walmart, I basically have been in practice on my own and found out that people in Northwest Arkansas don't try many cases. And in that matter, I've only tried 2 jury trials, and I've had about 20 hearings in front of a court. So whatever all that adds up to, I've never added it all up, but that's my experience in front of judges.
First, let me say that the Arkansas Court of Appeals, those judges are not necessarily charged with judging other judges. What happens at the Arkansas Court of Appeals is that people in Arkansas have a right to first appeal. And at that court, those judges look at those proceedings to see whether or not all of the procedures and processes were followed. It's not just the judges who play a part in those roles. It's prosecutors and public defenders. There are all kinds of people that play a part in plugging into our judicial system. So it's important that we go through and ensure that those people are served justice. And beyond that, I believe that everyone in this room has done a very good job of electing your circuit judges. They're hardworking people. Moving on to my experience. My experience is in a very specialized court, in the second highest court in the state of Arkansas, at the Arkansas Court of Appeals. I worked there for 8.5 years. I was hired by Judge Frank Airy, who'd been appointed by Governor Huckabee. I worked for Judge Steele Hayes, and I worked for Judge Terry Crabtree, who had also been appointed by Governor Huckabee. During my 8.5 years there, I worked on 1,300 of the very appeals that this court sees. What are they? They're Public Service Commission cases, workers' compensation, employment security matters, hundreds of criminal cases, civil cases from domestic disputes, child custody arrangements, divorce, real property disputes, boundary problems, insurance, but 1,300 of those.
Just to clarify, to give an answer to their question, is your entire experience been only in the Court of Appeals? Have you done any trial work?
My trial work is not where my experience lies. It's with the Arkansas Court of Appeals. And there I did 1,300 appeals, the very appeals that will be heard at that court every day, year in and year out.